So the next is AdaptED. AdaptED is a B2B EdTech company that streamlines special education accommodations for K-12 schools by integrating AI-powered test modifications and automated compliance into existing learning management systems. Let's welcome them.
So, hey everyone, I'm Aditi Shimpi.
And I'm Allison Yu.
We're building AdaptED, an AI-powered platform that streamlines special accommodations by automating the process of IP compliance for teachers. So let's dive into it. There are 7.5 million children with special needs across the US, and that number is only growing larger each year. And unfortunately, our education system just can't keep up. I've seen the system personally from the inside out for the last 16 years as an advocate to the strongest younger brother with autism, Atharva. And for our teachers, we also see the struggle because most of them end up feeling overworked and over half of them can't comply with IP compliance. So let's take a step back. What does this all mean? What is the process? It starts with an IP, which is a legal document that outlines the accommodations a student needs to succeed in the classroom. First, parents and teachers create this plan, and then teachers formally receive it. The next step is teachers actually implementing this plan in real time, with the last step being evaluating progress, with teachers having progress tracking to make sure that IB goals are being met. Now, unfortunately, the thing that ends up happening is 92% of teachers feel that they can't meet these IP goals, which results in schools not only violating the Federal IDA Act, that also results in legal fees and lower funding for them. And the deepest cuts happen for our children, who consistently receive education they don't deserve. How do we know this? We've spoken to countless families and over 40 school principals, Board of Education administrators, and teachers all across grade levels, and they all confirm that this is a big issue. Now, let's take a step back and take an example. Here's a student with these pretty commonly seen accommodations: multi-step direction, vocab support, and let's take a math problem. Sarah went to the market and bought 24 apples. This is what a current modification looks like: highlights and bolding, and that's it. And I don't see anything that aligns with the accommodations that are supposed to be there. Now, there's a lot of good solutions in the market out there, but they only solve parts of the IP process. But as you see, there's nothing quite yet for step number 3. And that's where we come in as AdaptED. So join us in making sure that teachers help students like Atharva, who's on the screen with me right there, and making sure that they receive the education that they deserve.
So how does our solution work? We process IEP data to generate modified tests and assignments. Teachers can track IEP goal progress to, teachers can generate, I'll move on to the next slide. Oh, and it fully integrates into learning management systems such as Google Classroom. We will use that as LMS from now on. Let's revisit the example that Aditi provided earlier. Given these modifications, what we see is that the current system takes a math problem from this and turns it into this. What a proper modification should look like is this. We see step-by-step breakdown, reading comprehension, and embedded vocabulary support. That is AdaptED. And the answer is 6, by the way. So let's look at our platform. So here we have the dashboard where teachers can view their students and their current courses. Then teachers can look at individual students' profiles, which clearly outlines the students' accommodations, as well as tracks if they're meeting their IEP learning goals. Finally, the teachers can modify assignments where our software extracts student IEP profiles, takes the original assignment, modifies it, and which is tailored directly to the student's accommodations. Our value proposition is that we directly integrate with LMS platforms such as Google Classroom. And bam, there is your assignment, modified assignment, ready to go. Our software, we make sure that our software and our data training is strictly compliant with FERPA and IDA laws. So how does this benefit our market? For schools, we ensure better student performance as well as fewer compliance violations, which leads to higher school ratings and lower legal costs. For teachers, we aim to save them up to 10 hours of work per week. And for our parents, we offer better visibility into their students' education. So how do we know it's working? So we aim to measure retention rates, marketing ROI, student performance, and the amount of hours saved by teachers per week.
Awesome. And why are we the team to do this? Because not only do we care, we built our careers around this. I'm studying finance, previously at Goldman Sachs, doing impact investing, and won the largest VC competition in the world. I've also grown up with the special needs space, whether that's building assistive tech in high school or founding CMU's Special Olympics chapter. My heart belongs to this space.
I'm Allison Yu. I study psych ed. I'm currently a research assistant at Duolingo, currently piloting one of their first K through 12 education programs. Aditi and I met the past year as RAs, and we have had one of our first conversations about changing the education space together.
And our CTO, Ankit, is a dedicated Special Olympics volunteer, previously Neo Scholar finalist, also excited to transform this space with us. We also have a strong board of advisors, and looking at our market, I think we stop now, but the rest we can cover in Q&A. Thanks, guys.
Great, thank you. Questions, Justine?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed reading your mini business plan very much, and I have personal experience in this space, and I know that I could probably name 15 teachers that would love to have this, and many parents as well. This is a big problem. How are you going to sell it? Are you I read in your business plan that you plan on selling to school districts.
Yes, exactly.
Have any idea how hard that is?
Oh, so hard.
How long that sales cycle is, and how the school board changes every couple of years and you have to start over. Tell me about what you know about it.
Perfect. Yeah, would love to. So of course, perfect slide to cover this. Barriers to entry. We know that it's super hard to sell to schools. So we hope that by offering things like free trials and our pilot testing program, which will show that not only are we improving test accuracy and results, but we're also making sure to save schools money through lower compliance funding and legal costs. We hope that that is something that will really reduce the barrier for our entry. And the other thing is also making sure that we are compliant with all data privacy. The biggest reason that a lot of the current solutions out there in the market don't fare as well is because they tend to struggle with FERPA compliance, IDA, and ADA. So one thing that we factored into our timeline is also making sure that we get all the approvals that are necessary and making sure that we also get on the GSA Schedule 70, which is a pre-approved list of vendors for all school technology solutions. And if you get on that pre-approved vendor list, it's usually easier to sell to school boards. So looking at our conversations that we've had with Board of Ed administrators, we know that it's a pretty long sales cycle and it starts around August to December. So we hope that when we start our outreach, we focus in that timeline going to education conferences like NASED and the NEA to make sure that we boost it from all avenues.
Oh,
yeah, thanks for working on this. This would be great. Actually, I think that this is a very important thing to do. Now, I actually use AI a lot. Actually, I made a post about AI being able to solve my midterm exam that ended up getting 1,000 shares over the weekend on Twitter and Facebook. But the main reason, oh, you're one of them. Thank you, Leah. Yeah. But the thing is, does it work? Because what I'm trying to say is what you're promising here sounds terrific, especially if you can even use it to get past the, if the school can use it for legal and compliance purposes. But I've actually tried using the current AI tools, and the reliability of what you're promising to do, I haven't seen how to do it. So I was wondering if you can give any examples that will let us know that the thing you're promising, you can actually do.
So far, we are currently in the pilot testing. We are about to enter the pilot testing of our product. And so really in pilot testing, we're going to be focusing on gathering as many school districts as possible. For each type of question and accommodation that we want to design for, we are going to have at least 100 types. So for example, we're going to give the teacher an example of a question and then have them modify it. And that would be just one of the 100 that we would ask for a specific type of accommodation. And so currently there is no model or system out there that is designing a product like ours that is designing for accommodations. So we will be the first to be testing and figuring out that process.
Right. So just to be clear on the question, my question is what's the current accuracy of your existing model?
Yeah. So right now, we are going to do our pilot testing program, and the issue that we have, which we hope that our funding and a bit more time can help us with, is getting state compliance approval. We can't actually use our system in schools right now because we're not talking about general education technology. This is special education technology. And for that, you need compliance. So before we even start testing, we hope to get that. Thank you.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.